Micky McCoy's wife leaked messages that could overturn the Charlie Kirk story. And as soon as they hit the internet, people claimed Erika Kirk was desperately and quickly trying to escape before more damaging revelations emerged.
We're actually tracking for years was Erika. Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes. Between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay?
What grabbed everyone's attention was the footage. Because something about Micky just didn't look normal, and his own wife now seems exhausted from hiding things and ready to spill everything, while Erika clearly wants the exact opposite. What she's allegedly doing to stop these leaks is what has the entire internet buzzing. And if you clicked here looking for answers, let me walk you through it step by step. You're about to hear about the strange video clips, the suspicious timing, the odd family trip that happened right before Charlie was shot, and even the bizarre claims about Erika Kirk's supposed connections to Egyptian planes and Israel. By the end of this, you'll see why so many people online think this might not be a coincidence at all, but possibly something planned from the inside. So let's start with Micky. He was Charlie Kirk's young chief of staff, just 23, standing right beside Charlie when everything unfolded. I'm not going to re-explain what happened to Charlie because most people already know that part, but what matters is Micky's reaction. In the viral video, instead of ducking, helping, or even reacting like everyone else, Micky calmly pulls out his phone and raises it to his ear. No dialing, no tapping, just instantly, like he was already expecting that call.
But in this particular video, he's not standing where you can get a view of Charlie asking a question. So this part is not tracking. Okay, Micky is not standing to the side of Charlie, he is behind. And so if you're saying what earlier, we're supposed to see him, the best place to stand if you're going to get a video of Charlie asking a question is going to be in a place where you can see both Charlie and the person asking the question. And that's just not where he's standing. So that excuse doesn't make sense to me. Now, maybe he's saying Micky was there when he was throwing hats out and he was there trying to send videos thereafter once things got started. That's all possible. I don't know. Regarding him putting his hands up to his ear, it does sound completely plausible to me that if you first hear a gunshot, you're going to naturally do this, right? That kind of makes sense. You're going to go, what was that maybe? And then I think typically you'd get down. And the issue that I have is I never see him take that phone down. Maybe he does, right? Maybe he does. We don't know for a fact. And so we should be clear that it doesn't look to me like he's just covering his ears there, but maybe he is. What I will say is that it would be unlikely that you would keep holding your ears until you get all the way out and that you wouldn't duck down.
Erika made things worse when she said on national TV that her phone was on silent during the shooting. But when she finally checked it, Micky was already calling her, claiming he phoned just seconds after Charlie was hit, according to what she said.
And that's when Micky started calling me. He called me within seconds.
I called Erika. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say. Those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Micky called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot, get the kids. Get security, get the kids, he's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center, just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot. Called our security. Yeah. Unbelievable nightmare.
So according to Erika, Micky called her within seconds. If you might remember, that Micky McCoy has been under a lot of fire for how he reacted less than 1 second after Charlie was shot. He put his phone or his hands to his ears, looks like his phone, and began walking away. People were highly suspicious of this, and we were told by Turning Point USA, executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Colvette, that Micky did not make a phone call here. He in fact put his hands up over his ears because the shot was very loud. Remember this.
Last thing, because this is part of the video allegations here, is that they're alleging that he was on the phone immediately. He was not. He was taking social videos, which he would send to our group chat, which we would then put on Charlie's social while the event was happening, so you could see like the crowd come in or his interactions. And we were only 2 questions into this event, so he was still getting it out to all the chats he needed to do, which he did at every event. He turns around, and it was so blaringly loud, I'm told. You would know this better than I, but this is what I'm told. It was so blaringly loud, and he was so shell-shocked, he put his fingers in his ear, but his phone was still in his hand. He walks away.
Blake Neff, who's also on this Charlie Kirk show from Turning Point USA, who was right next to Micky McCoy when the shot rang out, also explained that Micky McCoy and him separated. It was not until they reconvened after the fact, when he encountered Micky with his lip quivering, that the phone call was then made to Erika and then to his father, Rob McCoy. Candace Owens came out straight up yesterday and said that this was an inside job. People are suspicious because of inconsistencies and lies like this.
So who's lying when both stories can't match? Micky could easily clear everything by showing his call logs, a 5-minute fix. Yet he's released nothing. Not a timestamp, not a detail. And that silence is exactly what makes the entire situation feel far more suspicious than before.
I don't like the silence from Turning Point employees. I know for a fact one of them, who I'm not going to name, has a text message from Charlie the day before he died saying they are going to kill me.
Wow.
Now, he was not referring to lobby when he wrote that message.
Yeah.
If you are his friend and you're interested in the truth, why wouldn't you tell the public that? Wouldn't you just come right out to the public and say, hey, I don't know what happened, but like Charlie thought they were going to kill him. I do not like the way Turning Point is behaving. I've made that clear. And nobody is going to emotionally manipulate me and tell me that it's all good now. And to attack Turning Point would be to attack his legacy. Mm-hmm. Charlie told me years ago that he had, which I shared the messages. He was having a ton of visions and was telling me that Turning Point was going to be the death of him. He knew he was going to die young, and strangely knew that I was going to be the only person to defend him. Right. I showed the messages.
Yeah.
I showed the messages.
They tried to say it was fake and you pulled it up and yeah.
We're here now. And I'm going to defend him. I'm going to figure out what happened.
But there was another detail that made people dig even deeper. Candace Owens pointed out that just weeks before Charlie died, the McCoys joined Charlie and Erika on their first ever family trip. Something Micky's wife even confirmed online, calling it their very first vacation together. During that trip, the McCoys recorded intimate, private moments of the Kirk family. The same clips that later went viral after Charlie's death, including the shot where Erika holds Charlie's hand while walking with their kids. Many wonder why the McCoys were filming the Kirks so much, because most family trips don't work that way. Usually someone from the family handles the camera, not another couple quietly capturing everything like documentary makers. Things became even stranger when, just 4 days before Charlie died, Micky suddenly chose to film Charlie again during a trip to Korea, claiming it was the first time he had ever recorded him like that, and the timing felt unsettling to a lot of people.
Yeah, so originally we were supposed to go to the DMZ portion where Trump shook Kim Jong-un's hand, and I'm going to put him on blast, but the United Nations canceled Charlie, didn't allow us to go. Wow. So we were scheduled to go, so we had to go to that lookout point, which was really exciting still, so glad we got that.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Something else that's really interesting is when we were at that Build Up Korea event, Charlie was meeting with all these pastors backstage. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And there's Pastor Son, S-O-N, and Charlie was talking to him. He was talking about politics from the pulpit, which you can't do during election season in Korea, but he was doing it anyways. And Charlie's like, let me take a picture with you. So he took the picture, and we left Korea. 2 days after we left Korea, the pastor was arrested and is in jail right now. For
no way.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Because
yes,
you can't. It's there. Yeah, we have the picture up there. That was 2 days after they arrested that pastor. He's in jail right now for talking about politics from the pulpit.
While Eliza McCoy vanished from sight, Turning Point USA did the opposite, launching nonstop podcasts, interviews, and speeches that focus on promoting and defending Micky McCoy everywhere.
He was promised or told or encouraged that he would become the new Charlie, and it is a fact that was the #1 sentiment that we received from our Turning Point USA insiders following Charlie's assassination. That the, supercalifragilistic, Micky McCoy appeared to have like an extra spring in his step that made them all a little bit uncomfortable in the aftermath. And that he seemed all too happy to to assume Charlie's position. Look, he's already speaking at Liberty University. Why? Because he made some phone calls? Have we lowered the standards for what makes somebody a hero in 2025?
Every post and clip portrayed him as a young legend, creating a tone that felt less like grief and more like an attempt to smother rising suspicion under excessive praise. Then Turning Point slipped up. In one video, someone is seen comforting Micky, telling him to ignore conspiracy theories because the team had already handled everything, and he had nothing to worry about at that critical moment.
Erika Kirk, where has she been? She's been out of the spotlight almost completely. No interviews, no real public presence, nothing. And at this point, people are wondering why. Is it the attention? Is it pressure? Or is something else going on behind the scenes? Now, let's talk about this moment right here between Micky McCoy and someone named Bernadette. Because when I heard that clip, my thought was the same as a lot of you. Who exactly is Bernadette? And why does she sound like she's speaking for the team?
I don't want you to feel hurt by all these horrible things. We know that you have a responsibility. You're a young man. And I just want you to take a deep breath, like I said. And you know what? Let them spin their conspiracy theories. You're a good kid. You had instructions to call Erika. Charlie had a team that jumped right in there. I know that team. And we just got to move on. We got to push the moving on, and let's get to these midterms.
Yeah. Bernadette, who are you? And Micky, let's slow this down for a second. You had instructions to call Erika Kirk right away. And based on the footage that we've all seen over and over and over again, that's exactly what you did. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now here's the part I really want people to pay attention to.
That's right. Thank you, Bernadette. It's crazy. It's just,
Lost for words there, huh, Micky? That little stutter, that pause, that moment where the sentence never really finishes. That's the kind of thing that makes people stop and replay the clip. Not because it proves anything, but because it raises more questions. So now we're left with this. Erika Kirk is out of sight. Bernadette is telling Micky to ignore conspiracy theories and just move on. Micky confirms he had instructions to call Erika and then freezes up right after thanking her.
When people are falsely accused of something serious, they don't stay silent. They speak out, show evidence, and take legal action. But Tipuza has done none of that. No lawsuits, no demands for corrections, just deliberate silence paired with nonstop Micky is amazing content. Candace Owens openly believes Turning Point was involved in Charlie's death, and she's now exposing everything publicly while calling them out directly.
Turning Point USA executives to issue a very clean statement saying that I am lying if this is not true. About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright, okay? Charlie was done. He said it explicitly that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen? It's a yes or a no. Explicitly, I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say no, it was just, he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said. It either happened or it didn't. I'm either making it all up or it happened exactly as I'm saying. And while we're at it, may I ask, what is the name of the Jewish donor who sponsored the Hamptons weekend? Okay. And to Pastor Rob McCoy, were there any LLCs that you or your son were being paid through that sat outside of Turning Point? I'm asking that question genuinely. Yeah, I'm putting the fire here right at the feet of Turning Point because I am disgusted. I am genuinely disgusted. I am looking around and wondering whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show. None of you guys are behaving in the way that you should be behaving, okay? There is no way you are letting these lies fly unless, as I am hearing, unless it is true that there was a big payday that was on the line. And if Charlie radically stated that he was done with Israel, if Charlie said he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause because of, and I quote, Jewish donors, the behavior of Jewish donors, if he said that, yes or no, well then, I don't know, maybe some people didn't want to take that risk that he was going to, become Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson at Turning Point USA with so much presence across college campuses. Maybe they didn't want to take the chance. You see, I'm just one person, so it's easy to just try to cancel my life and lie on me every second of every day. But Turning Point USA, I think, got a little bit bigger than Charlie, and I'm no longer going to allow this lie in this narrative. So answer the questions, yes or no. And I'm going to, again, challenge you to lie. And if you do lie, I'm going to expose the lies, and I'm going to start dropping videos, actually. So that's where I'm at. Enough of the games, enough with trying to allow Israel to wrangle a narrative that you know is not.
Their pattern of deny, distract, and disappear is exactly what people really recognize when a cover-up happens.